What's up,
Hey,
dude?
dude. How
Hey,
you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing really good. Really busy day today. Launched the, I think you might have
Good.
saw. Yeah. You sent me a message. Um,
I did. Yeah.
Launched like the pivot of
Great.
demo.
Great job. Tell me about the pivot of demo. Give me like a 60-second spiel about what happened today, October 15th with demo.
Yeah, 60-second spiel. We kind of pivoted away from like this YouTube marketplace. The marketplace is still there to evaluate software. And now essentially I just walk into companies and I'm like, hey, tell me your priorities, your initiatives from like the CEO level, board level, et cetera. Walk with your tech stack, walk with your challenges, and now just let a company know like these are the 6 areas that are literally sucking you dry from any sort of pipeline, generation, acceleration, et cetera.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And then if to generate revenue, we have a lot of partnerships, a lot of referral partnerships, things like that. A couple of technologies we help with implementation. There's an implementation cost. I know we talked about this 4 or 5 episodes ago. Full services biz, doubled down on it, had 20 conversations in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. And I've noticed every company is like,
Hmm.
dude, I'm not happy with my tech stack. So we're going to go all in on this. Let's simplify your tech stack. And if you're in
That's great, man.
B2B, it's total pain. But yeah, dude.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And I wanted to ask you, I was on every Wednesday, I have a call where it's just founders, it's a handful of founders who just chat about what's going on. And there's a common theme right now where it is a grind to get
Yeah.
new business when you don't have a buttload of marketing spend. It is an absolute grind. And a lot of
Interesting.
people make
Interesting.
it seem like it's not. Like you'll see companies on LinkedIn, and we talked about this a lot, but I just hit 800,000 million in ARR in 2 days, like that kind of stuff. But what's working for you right now? I know you're at a company that does have marketing spend and has a pretty good brand name, but like generating new business and
Yeah.
getting people to want to talk to you, what's working for you?
Yeah. We in the last 3 months, but really in the last 12 months, have leaned really heavy into outbound in the sales team. So I'm on the enterprise sales team, and there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 AEs, and there's 4 or 5 solutions engineers who are pre-post sales. So it's a melting pot, our solutions team, then VP of sales. And then we have like rev ops and some stuff. We are measured, performance is measured, targets are measured, everything's measured on creating net new business opportunities. Now, we generate new business from marketing qualified leads, but we are brainwashed right now in a way that I appreciate, to not rely or wait or pray for MQLs. And some of the reason is these true large enterprise opportunities that are in my own purview and in a lot of the team's purview, they're not going to find themselves on a landing page and, oh, I should buy Beehive. I mean, we're talking 7-figure opportunities, like household names that everyone listening would know. That's not how they purchase. That's not how anyone that size purchases products. And so what works, I mean, my LinkedIn persona works really well. It's funny. I am currently talking to a number of large enterprise deals who regularly react to my dumb LinkedIn posts.
Dude,
The
they've
ones
been
that
so dumb
people,
lately too.
no, so idiotic. So idiotic. There are 2 large enterprise. And I mean, guys, like I posted the other day, I said, hot take, it is unhealthy to stop breathing oxygen. Most will disagree with this. Like that is the level of idiotic. So 2
Yes.
large enterprise opportunities, you would know both of their names if I said them,
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
reacted and mentioned that persona in real life. 3, another $35 billion company meets with me, cold outbound from LinkedIn. One of the first things they say on the call is, I've been following you for years, and that's why I know about Beehive. I'm telling you, people give me such a bad rep. There's no way you're dumb. I literally have the receipts to prove that my viral moron of a persona on LinkedIn is literal cash.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
why I'm a successful tech sales seller.
Yeah.
So what's working for me? I mean, just being online chaotically and forever online. I think that works for tech sales, but there's a lot more to it, but that's where I would start.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good segue. There's a post that you actually made 2 days ago, and I've got the hook right here. I've got the whole post, but in the last 3 years, I've gotten about 100 million impressions on LinkedIn and X for posts I've written about Beehive.
Yeah.
So, let's back up real quick. I gave the 60-second pitch on Dimmo. Give me the 60-second pitch on Beehive for anyone listening, and then I have a question about that.
Yeah, I mean, 60-second pitch on Beehive. Email has changed. Email is an archaic technology. It started in the 80s, early 90s. And what email used to be was a broadcast to click back to a website. That is not what effective email systems look like anymore. Morning Brew is a great case study and anecdote for what email as a product can do. They grew to 4 million subscribers and they sold for $75 million. We are now at Beehive, Morning Brew in a box or media company in a box. We're an entire email first newsletter system or ecosystem where you can create a sustainable newsletter strategy. You can grow your audience. You can create new generated revenue from that audience. And then you can build your website. You can plug into all the different revenue tools that we have. It's really a one-stop shop to building your monetizable online business in one place. So that's what Beehive is. So you think of the media companies of the world, it's great for them.
So there's two things I think about. One is the amount of money it costs to generate 100 million impressions if marketing were to go spend ad money to go generate 100 million impressions. You've generated it probably just through organic posts, viral posts, stupid posts, what Daniel loves to do. But also a lot of your posts are very informative and educational about what Beehive actually does and what you can accomplish with it. Do you think we live in like such a bubble, this SaaS bubble? Do you think that building an audience or a name is just as important to industries that aren't super familiar with LinkedIn? Like, let's say maybe they're on Reddit or even Quora or things like that. Do you think it's just as important, or do you think it's like, you might be wasting your time there?
No, yeah, there's an entire go-to-market strategy for Reddit, Quora. I mean, Medium. Like, there's really tried and true strategies. Now, I'm personally not the expert there. I dabble in Reddit, and I'm a pretty core user of Reddit. So, like, if I'm researching, like, I'm really into running right now more than ever. And I'm like, I need a running pack. I'm doing like a 12 to 15 mile run this Friday, and I wanted to buy a hydration pack. Literally, I was scrolling for like 4 hours one night, like sweating over making the right decision. Reddit's what I trust the most with that. I'm like, Reddit's going to give me the most accurate consumer feedback on the internet. So anyways, I digress. I think Reddit's got a great strategy. When I said 100 million, transparently, I didn't do any real math. I did some very quick back of napkin math, but that's 3 years, honestly 4. I've been working at Beehive for 3. I've been generating impressions for Beehive for 4. I did it for a whole year before I worked there, which is one of the reasons I got a job.
Wow.
It's Twitter, it's LinkedIn, it's TikTok, it's Instagram, it's Reddit. We have a very thriving Reddit community. It's our Slack community of 10,000 people that I started. It's Telegram. It's communities on X. Newsletter Growth has 4,000 people. That's my community I started. It's the B next to my name on both LinkedIn and X. Also, the B next to every single person's name on LinkedIn. Whose idea was the B on LinkedIn? That was mine. I have the receipt for it. So that entire social selling strategy of co-branding employee advocacy with Beehive, that's because I said you all need to put a B next to your name when we were 10 people and I was the only one that had it on LinkedIn. It had already started on Twitter, but oh yeah, we should do that on LinkedIn. So 100 million is like pretty fair and accurate number, but I can't even remember what your question was.
It was essentially,
I think more people need to do this though.
Yeah, essentially, is it worth building an audience if you're not in like this bubble of SaaS? And I think at the end of the day, they're saying that we were in it and we're getting out of it, the attention economy. I keep reading that we're leaving the attention economy now, but I don't think that's 100% true. I mean, maybe we will be with Sora and things like that, but
no, I don't think at all.
See, I saw a post the other day. It was like, we're now exiting, and maybe it's just someone that's selling something that's like anti-attention. Who knows? But at the end of the day, eyeballs is revenue, and I think that you do such an incredible job at generating revenue, or let's just say generating eyeballs through LinkedIn and Twitter, and even like I think you kind of post on Threads and stuff like that too. But So what
Yeah,
you
threads. I
said,
forgot about that one.
everything I search now on Google, or I use Arc as a browser, but everything that I search now is, I was like, for example, last weekend, I was like, date nights for the weekdays, Reddit. And in Madison, Reddit. I always add Reddit at the end because it is,
Yep.
like you said, I think it's the best place to actually get like consumer feedback, that you'll get like TikTok style
Yeah.
comments on there, like you effing idiot, who would eat at that place? That place is
Yes.
horrible. But then it's like, all right, like I'll let that
If
weigh
you
in a little
find
bit.
no, if you find the right subreddits, the mods are so good that the community is actually like relatable and very humane. There's
No.
definitely the ones you're talking about, like everywhere on the internet, but especially on Reddit, and it
Yeah.
gets dark. But like I joined an espresso subreddit when I got this new espresso machine like I guess a month ago now. And like again, spent a month researching every single different variation and option between, manually pulling a shot versus high-end one-click espresso machines, which is it's called a super automatic. That's what I ended up
Ooh.
getting. I'm like,
Okay. Hold
I
on.
actually I would like to learn how to do an espresso shot. Like, I don't know. I'm very into coffee. I've never learned the art of espresso,
Yeah, same.
but I sat down and I was real with myself. I'm like, look, I have a 3.5 and a 1.5-year-old, and I work in tech at a startup, very fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not the time of my life to want a coffee 5 seconds before a meeting starts and go pull a freaking shot from the espresso machine. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, I literally click a button and I get like 12 different types of, coffees coming out of this thing. It's super cool. But
Yeah. I've
subreddit, like the espresso Reddit helped me decide what to do. I mean, they're just super active and super helpful.
It is. It is. I think it's definitely the most helpful consumer community on the internet. It's so helpful. So helpful. I actually just recently increased my caffeine intake to about another cup or two. And I don't know. I've been
Yeah.
texting him like, dude, I'm drowning right now. I'm so busy. And it's been this kind of
Yep, dude.
pivot, like
I am
setting up for the launch, having
freaking
all these
out.
conversations, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I am like 1 to 3 extra cups of coffee a day now, and I feel phenomenal. I feel
Yeah.
great. I'm
Just
like,
wired.
I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
usually like I also switch something. This is and anybody
What'd you
out there
switch?
that can help an ADHD person like myself, where my brain's all over the place, help me out about how you manage specific like time increments of your day. But something that I did, I have an hour, 12 to 1. I eat lunch, I take the dogs on a walk. But what was happening is I'd get home, and I think maybe I talked about this on an episode. I have no idea. But I get home from my walk and I'm crashed. Like, I'm tired. Coffee won't even pick me up. So now what I started to do was I just let my dogs, I do a short walk and then let the dogs run around in the backyard for a little bit so I don't have to go on a long walk. And then at the end of my day, call it 4 p.m., I'll take my dogs on a walk. And that's actually helped me not have that crash at 2 p.m. that I keep getting, because that's always been 2
Yeah.
p.m. I crash. I'm just sit there like, I'll click around LinkedIn. I'll go stalk Daniel Burke's stupid post today, and then I'll get back to my day. And it was about 3 hours of just not fruitful work. Ever since I
Yeah.
switched that, where I'd switch my walk, and maybe this is advice to anybody that crashes after lunch. Ever since I switched my walk to the end of my work day, so I can get everything done before then, it's been great. But I've been busy, crazy.
I did a long run. Long runs for me are like anything over 5 miles. I follow these elite runners and they're like, I did a medium long run. It was like 24 miles. I was like, you got to stop.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not allowed to do that. So
yeah.
anyways, that's why I preface long run it was 6.25 miles
It's impressive.
after work the other day. And a couple things that I noticed, I almost always do my runs early in the morning, but we're with my in-laws right now. And so I have extra help with the kids. So a little bit more flexibility after work to like do some stuff that is because they have plenty of help with the kids. So I went for a run for like an hour and 15 minutes right before dinner. And I realized that one, I had way more energy during that run. And
Interesting.
my very limited understanding of why that is because I ate 2.5 meals that day. I had
Yeah, it could
breakfast
be.
and lunch and, snacks throughout the day. Whereas when I wake up fasted, I'm running with maybe a banana, like I have nothing. I have nothing in my system. So I had the carbs from that day. I had the coffee from that day. I had who knows how many cups of coffee that day. So more energy starting. But then I realized second is that when I slept, like when I went to bed that night, I was out, like just done. I was
Yeah,
so tired, hit the pillow, and I was dead for 7 hours or so.
yeah. Wow.
So I don't know. I think there's something to it. Switching around your routine a little bit just to see what works. I think what people assume works because it's what they've always done isn't always actually the best.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I can't run in the afternoons. I try and I try and I try.
Really?
Yeah, it's I don't know what it is. I feel like when I'm active, I'm a morning guy. When I wake up, I'm ready to go. I'm wired. It's
You
like,
are.
give me 3 minutes and I'm good. And so
Yeah.
I love running in the morning. I don't know if you saw Strava. I've been running the last few days, mainly because I
I was going to
skipped.
mention that. I saw a
Yeah.
couple 5Ks in there. Good
Yeah, I
for
had a
you. You getting
5K.
ready for that half?
It was an 8 minute pace, dude, like 8:20. Like that's pretty.
I
I was
know. No,
zooming.
that's
For me,
fast.
that's
That's
fast. Which
fast. No, that is fast.
and I've been getting a lot of TikToks of the Moab 240. So congrats to Killian Korth. I don't know if you saw that. Just like
Insane. Yep.
24 miles or something ahead of the second place person. Like absurd.
Insane.
Who can run
Insane.
240 miles? That's nuts. That's
Dude,
nuts.
when I think about the marathon winners, like Chicago Marathon was a couple
Oh
days
yeah.
ago, and
Yep.
the winner got 202 and some change.
Yep.
Like, do the
What
math.
do you do?
That's
Yeah.
you're doing someone's like 400 sprint
Yeah.
for 26 miles without
Absurd.
stopping. It
Absurd.
doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I literally cannot sprint with every ounce of my being that fast for any amount of time. And they
Yeah.
do it for 26 miles. Makes
Yeah.
no sense to me
Makes no
at
sense.
all. But
I,
anyways,
I had a friend do the Moab 240 and he finished last
it's
night.
crazy.
And the video that he sent to us in a group chat was him like hugging his wife and kissing her and like whatever. And then she like tries to like grab his hand, like pull him. He's like, I literally can't walk. I'm hurt right now. And so because he's walking, he's not running past the finish line. He is like in severe pain, just
Yeah.
wanting to
What does it
finish.
take him? Like 48, 50 something hours? Like, I don't know,
No, more than that,
75.
because I think it took Killian Korth like 56 hours or something,
Okay.
47,
Yeah. So
something.
like 70s,
It must
80s,
have took him
maybe.
like 70 or 80 hours, but 240 miles on your feet with like a little bit of rest here and there is just absurd.
Yeah, those ultras, man, those ultras are crazy. There's those backyard ultras. Have you ever seen those where
Mm,
you just run till the last man standing? Like you're just like there's
that's
a Zach
crazy.
Pograb. He's the founder of Share Aura, which is sick. If you're not on Share Aura right now, you got to find Share Aura. You can look up Share Aura is the app name on X, and you can download it, and it just lets you share your runs, your workouts, your cycling, a lot of stuff with very creative backgrounds and stats. And it's like what Strava and Runna like kind of do with their sharing stats, but it's on steroids. It's 100 times
Wow,
better. Go
interesting.
check out Share Aura. Anyways, Zach Pograb, if I'm saying his last name correctly, he is the founder of Share Aura, and he's just a nut, like so locked in, chaotically determined to take over the world with this app. But he did a backyard ultra, and I'm blanking on how many miles he went. I think it was 150 miles or something before he stopped running. And the winners were at like 240 miles. And you have to run, I believe it's a lap. I'm blanking. Anyways, you run. It's just
You just
last man
run.
standing, and you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go for like days, and you get maybe you have to run a certain distance in an hour. And if you can finish that distance before the hour's up, you get the remaining hour to rest.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Every hour, I think you have to run 4 miles. I think that's what it is. So
Yeah.
after, 25 hours, you're like, dude, this is getting hard. And you start like, moseying by. But they actually canceled the race. There were 2 people left because there was like torrential thunderstorm downpour.
Mm.
And so they just tied. The 2 winners tied.
Wow.
But it's crazy. It's crazy. Ultra marathons, I'm like, that's a different breed, man.
Yeah. My brother-in-law ran one ultra every month last year. And then,
Whoa.
yeah, dude,
One
he's
every month?
one every
Like
month. That was his goal.
50Ks
I
or like
wanna,
what?
so
Do you know?
an
Were they all
ultra, what I've
different?
learned is anything above a marathon. So it could be 30, it could
Right.
be, so
I know.
there were some that were 30 and then there were some that were 50. He just did a 100 miler. It took him like 28 hours. He just did a 100 miler. And then I
Crazy.
was there at the end and yeah, he couldn't walk. For like 2 days, he was just sitting there with his feet
I mean,
nice.
it just does a whole
Doesn't-
number on your body.
It doesn't look fun. It doesn't seem fun, and it's nothing I would ever do. I'd probably cap it at a marathon, but maybe an Ironman if I can get somewhat mobile and silly,
Yeah.
but not for me.
You have to categorize. This is from a comment on LinkedIn this week. Someone said, I can't even remember what the post was, but it was a comment on one of my posts. And they said, you got that right, Daniel. You got to prioritize self, wife, kids, family, or something, everything else. And it was interesting because the first thing he said was self. And I was like, huh. I almost replied. I was like, huh, elaborate. So I want you to prioritize, and we're just going to pick 3 things because there's too many. Self, wife, kids, in order of priority.
Yeah.
How do you prioritize those things in order of most to least important,
Yeah.
and why?
This is a great question. If anybody has ever talked to me and had like a deep conversation with me just about like how life's going and stuff like that. uh, Can you hear that, by the way? Yeah,
Yes.
my Roomba is self-cleaning. Sorry if anybody can hear that. So so if you've had any sort of deep conversation with me, I tell everybody I talk to that you need to be selfish. And I think a lot of people, I think most people are selfish. And I think that, and some in the wrong way, some in the right way. And in my mind, it's like if you are not mentally available or mentally healthy yourself, it's hard to carry a healthy marriage. It's hard to be a healthy parent. So I always tell people, always. I right now I consult for this company on cold calling, and I tell all the BDRs, I'm like, prioritize yourself. Like your mental health is huge. You're gonna get beat up all day long. If you're not gonna do your best, if you're not mentally there. So I tell everybody, like, be selfish, take care of yourself before you take care of others. Because if you let yourself down, you're gonna let every other relationship you have down. So I like prioritizing yourself, but not in a way where it's like I'm only doing this because it's good for me. It's not good. Like you need to have also some sort of thought process behind like you can't just do everything for yourself. Like you got to do things for others as well. So it's funny
Yep.
that you asked this because I feel like I have a maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I do feel like it's self when it comes to mental health. And then I would say wife, and then I would say kids. That's how
Yeah.
I would put it now. But like, I'm not going to go out and be like, hey, I'm going to go splurge on myself and not even think about my kids or wife. Like, if I'm getting something, my kid's going to get something. My wife's going to get something too, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I think about it. Is that let's unpack that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, you even condition like with mental health, self, et cetera, et cetera. I think there are so many conditions where it's like, if we're talking about physical, like state of being, I would die for my wife and kids right now. No questions asked. Someone comes with a gun to shoot us all, I would
Yeah,
jump in front of the gun every single time and until I'm dead. Like that's no question. It wouldn't be like, oh, should I do this? That means I die. No, I would just do it. It's just a decision I've already made. So like physically, I'm last on the list.
yeah,
Physically being literally my
yeah.
physical
Your
self.
physical. Yep, yep.
I think the ideal, God is a part of this too for me. And I understand it doesn't have to be for everyone, but God is a part of this for me. I view all this through a lens of God is first. So I'm getting that out of the way for anyone listening. I prioritize it as wife, kids, self in an ideal state. And here's what I mean by that. I am innately selfish and look out for myself and am constantly battling the urge to do what's best for me, even if it's not in my wife's best interest or in the best interest of others. That's something I'm aware of in myself. And it's something that I want to change to be a more selfless,
Yeah,
virtuous person. I think, I think the reason this is getting darker. I think the reason the divorce rate is so high among people who get married, just in general, if you look at everyone who's ever married, actually, let's keep this to Western Hemisphere. Arranged marriages, divorce rate's much lower. Let's not talk about that right now, but that is a true fact, I believe. Check me on it.
fair. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it is.
I would agree. I would agree, but I also think
I
there's
think
more repercussions
I
in
think
yeah.
people I think people take that self and what's best for self and what's best for my mental health and what's best for me so far
Too far.
that they're unwilling to compromise.
Yep.
And that, I think that's when it becomes a problem. And to your point, if my mental health is so bad because I've prioritized all of these things, wife and family and work and blah, 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 but my mental health is just in shambles, then actually I am doing a disservice to my wife, to my kids, to my job, because I haven't focused on myself first in that circumstance. So I think there's this constant balancing act, and it's hard. It literally, I'm imagining are this called seesaws? A
Yeah.
literal like
Balance beams. Yeah,
balancing
yeah.
act
It is hard.
where like the moment you get that ideal state of mental health, and if you're watching or if you're listening to this, what I'm showing kind of this balancing act and with my hands, you outweigh everything else. And then it's like, okay, mental health is solved right now. Let me run over here because my wife and my kids and they need me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts to go like this. And it's like, oh, mental health. And you run over this way.
Yeah.
It is constant. It's and constant, not like, yeah, every month I got to focus on it. No, it's like several times a day, actually, I think is how constantly evolving this is.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. I like that.
plainly put, I think it's wife, kids, me. I
Yeah.
think I want it to be wife, kids, me with God as the umbrella. But I think in reality, it's me. And that's the problem. I think that's the innately selfish person I am. Everything is viewed through the lens of what Daniel thinks is best for Daniel. And so I'm constantly battling myself for what I know conceptually should not be the case.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think I did that same thing. There's like, I mean, like you said, you have to compromise. And like one of the compromises for me is like the whole wake up thing. Like, I wake up at 4 because my wife won't have to deal with the kids alone, and I'll be able to go get a workout in, which then balances my mental health. But then I'm tired, dude. I'm exhausted. I don't want to, like, it's not fun to wake up at 4, right? But it's just something I have to do I don't want to go
I don't know,
after
man. You're
work.
pretty consistent. I'm starting to think you think it's pretty fun.
No, dude, I actually had slept through my alarm today. It goes on at 4:15
Till
now.
what, 5?
4:40, and I have to leave at 5 for my new class thingy. And so, anyways,
This guy.
whatever. So all that to say is, last night, I'm not a crier. Okay, like that is something actually that I wouldn't say it bothers my wife, but she always asks, like, do you have any sad emotions? And because I'm usually
Good.
pretty guarded when it comes to like sad emotions. I'll just
Interesting.
bottle it up and wait. And so,
Interesting.
not a healthy thing to do, by the way, if you're listening. So, talk to somebody if you're sad. So, I watched this TikTok, and it's a woman who's reading a story. Man, I started tearing up hard. A woman who's reading a story. She's 80 years old. And then she said, today, I need to send it to you. I want to know if you tear up. It starts with like, today, I woke up as my 32-year-old self. And then she goes through this entire, have you seen it?
Well, I've seen
Something
these
like
types of videos. I don't know if it's the same one.
Yeah, so it was so well said. It went along the lines of like, the kids are screaming, they're making a mess at the breakfast table, and they spilled their milk, and I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to embrace the chaos and yada, yada. Talks about, I want to tear up just talking about it, does that. And then it's like, and then I go and hug my husband, but I don't let go. Like, or I call my mom, and I don't let the conversation end. I just tell her everything I want to tell her. Then, at bedtime, I'm the one that picks up another book, not my kid asking for me to read another book. And it's like, damn, like my wife and I, like, we were literally just tearing up, like, oh my gosh, that's so sad to think about. And so I feel like in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I tell my wife this almost jokingly, but not jokingly, that I'm having like this weird midlife kind of crisis thing, quarter life crisis, midlife, whatever. And it's, I think this podcast has a lot to do with it as well. But like TikTok is feeding me that kind of stuff. They're also feeding me families out in like Switzerland and just taking these beautiful trips. And I had been beating myself up lately. Like, damn, I think I'm living life wrong. Like when we talk about this a lot on the pod, but I really am like starting to, and my wife texts me like, can we go to Florida? Can we just book a trip to Florida? Because we aren't promised tomorrow, right? Like, I think that's something everyone needs to have in their brain, is you're not promised tomorrow. And so I don't know, I've been having a really weird like time with myself of, I don't think I'm doing life the right way right now. And I'm not happy with just sitting behind a screen and like being okay with it. I'm starting to not be okay with it. And I'm trying to figure out like what actions I can take. Anyways, just getting that out in the open, by the way. Everyone knows now. It's like, I don't know, weird spot right now. I'm like, dude, this isn't right. This is not right. This isn't right. Anyways, we talk about it a lot, but
let it ruminate. Let it ruminate. I think I had a midlife crisis. First of all, someone, conveniently reminded me on Twitter the other day that 39 years old is technically midlife. And that messed me up based on just average lifespan. So I'm 32. I said, I had a midlife crisis. This was 2 years ago. I had an actual midlife crisis, 100%. That's why I started running. It's why I lost 50 pounds. It's why I stopped drinking. It literally everything changed in my entire life. From that month-ish forward, everything changed. I remember telling people, not like everyone, I had close confidants. So I had having a midlife crisis right now. It's not a midlife crisis. I was like, well, Joker, I'm 30 and I'm not going to live to 120. So what fraction would you like me to use? Like the third life crisis, that's pretty old too. So it's like midlife is like I think
30 to 40, dude.
30s have, So what I'm saying, people have midlife crises.
Crises, yeah.
Don't try to speed past it. Like
Yeah.
mine was, May, June, July of 2024. So like, 16, 18 months ago. It really started like January, February of that year. But it was really like push came to shove like May of 2024. And, I'm still feeling stuff. Like it's still like
Yeah.
I- I'm just changed from that. So
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok once. I've seen a lot of TikToks that have made me cry. I am a crier. This one jacked me up. And it still does. I might
Send it
cry
to
right
me.
now even
Send it to
talking
me if
about
you
it.
can pull. I know I
I
started
gotta
tearing
go
up, so
find it.
I redirected my combo.
I might cry right now telling you about it, but it's this TikTok. And I am so grateful that my wife and I have not experienced a miscarriage. I am aware of how many people have. My wife and I have so many friends who personally have, even some who have lost their baby at delivery at full term. I mean, just worst case scenario stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's this TikTok of this guy, and you don't know what's happening. He wakes up and he's walking in a forest, and it's kind of like really bright and like almost like otherworldly. And he's walking around, and someone comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, welcome." And he's like, "Where am I?" And he's like, "Would you like to see him?" And it's like Jesus, and him is referring to the baby that he lost at birth.
Mm.
I can't even
I
talk
know,
about it because
dude, I could hear it. Yep. Take a breath. That is so
I think
sad.
I'm just so grateful for my family. When I watch videos like that,
Yeah.
people are hurt. People are hurting. And videos like that remind me, don't assume you know what people are going through, because the number of people who are hurt, that's one example. Hurt from loss of a child, loss of a parent, loss of anything. They're just walking around like they have to put these masks on like they're doing fine, but you don't know. Like, you don't know. And I watch videos like that and I'm just like, it just reminds me like, God, the world is complicated
Yeah.
and people are in it. People are in it. And it makes me want to be selfless.
Yeah.
It makes me want to stop thinking about myself so much. It makes me want to go out and figure out what can I do to be helpful? Like where can I go to find needs and meet them?
Yeah.
We have in South Carolina, we have these things called blessing boxes. I think they're probably everywhere, but that's what we call them in South Carolina. They're just like little like boxes where you can put canned food and
Yeah.
goods that people who are homeless can go and get food. And they're everywhere. I mean, like all over the place. And you basically just go find one and and we're like teaching our kids to, hey, we're going to go put this food in the blessing box. And they're like all excited. But I'm like, that's like not enough. I feel like that's good. You should do that. If you're not doing that already, you should do that. Like give food to the homeless, buy extra at the grocery store, see if anyone's in front, offer them a sandwich, stuff like that. But people are emotionally in need
Yeah.
and they need friends and they need people to listen and they need people to cry with them.
Yeah.
And that type of TikTok dog, I'm like, I send sometimes that's one example of probably 5 TikToks that I've legit wept at.
Yeah.
And I send
Yeah.
it to Courtney and I'm just like, I just wept watching this. Don't watch it if you don't want to weep. And that's it. I'm like, face is wet. I'm like, I'm so grateful for my life. And I have not been without struggle, but I'm so far without specifically that. I'm just grateful, but I'm aware so many people have dealt with that. And I just feel for them. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's something that I thought about today. We were texting about, I think we joked, like, should we just end the podcast at episode 52 or whatever? And I was like, just randomly thinking, like, what's a cool, like, podcast idea? And similar to like what you were saying, I was like, I should just go walk down to downtown Madison, set up 2 little portable chairs, and just ask people about their life. Like, what are you going through right now? And just because I bet you 100% of people you sit down will have a load of information and sad stuff and chaotic stuff and messy stuff in their life that
Yeah.
they're dealing with right now that they don't talk about out loud. And I was like, that would be a
Yeah.
really interesting idea. Because I mean, I feel like maybe males do it more. I'm not sure, but I feel like just out of all my friends, males don't really open up too much, at least as far as I know. They kind of like,
Yeah. No,
we're
you're right.
men, we got to keep it bottled up. But there's that. And then I saw another TikTok that was like, it was about a kid that, like, I think he's like 16, but he committed suicide. And the mom posted this TikTok, and the TikTok said something on the lines of like, you should pay attention to the signs. And the whole point of the TikTok was, it said like, that was the first part, and then it flipped over to the signs, and it was like 9 months ago, dude's extremely happy. 8 months ago, dude's extremely happy. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then all the way down to 2 weeks ago. Every video of this kid, every picture that they posted at those month marks, he is like so cheerful, so happy, so just joyous to be around, always laughing with his friends, family, etc. And her whole point was like, there were no signs. I didn't know that my son was going through something. And so I'm like, dang, like, people don't talk enough, man. People don't talk enough. And maybe it's on us.
No,
Like,
they
maybe
don't.
we don't probe enough. Maybe as parents, you have to probe even more and more and more. I don't know. Like, we're getting into a world where mental health is, we talk about this a lot, but mental health is very prominent. It's very infectious and quiet, to be honest. So I don't know. I
What
was,
if Two Dads in Tech is the platform for it? Like we've talked about having guests. This is not planned for those listening. I mean, this is just not scripted right now, but I think there's an opportunity to bring people on who are, for all intents and purposes, nobodies. Like no platform, no one knows who they are, but they're willing to share vulnerably about what they're going through. And we just listen and probe. I think that could be a life-changing podcast for millions of people,
I think it could too.
including us.
And
Just listen.
yeah.
We could call it Just Listen. It could be Two Dads in Tech, Just Listen. I don't know.
Or you just get
I'm
rid
just
of
thinking
two
out
dads
loud
in
right
tech.
now.
Because we talked about it a lot. Like, we're bucketing ourselves in this TDIT thing.
We could call it Just Listen. I mean, there's a lot we could do.
Oh, I love that idea. And I feel like, love two dads in tech. I feel like I'd be doing better for the world if I did do something like that. I feel like I would help
That's what I'm
more
saying.
people. I feel like I would make a bigger difference. I love that idea. I love it.
Let's
We
chew
can
on
make
it because so do I.
let's
I
chew
think
on it.
that's
And
like that helps me to align what I think Two Dads in Tech is doing well for us and what I think you and I could do well for the world. Like, are we changing people's lives? I mean, honestly, some of the conversations we've had are pretty thought provoking, and I think people chew on them and people go back and talk to their friends. And like the story I've told many times, like I have a new close friend of mine and my wife and their kids and our kids are all great friends because of this podcast. Because
crazy.
I talked about just go ask someone to hang out and be friends. And then this person did on LinkedIn and we hung out and now we're friends. Like I drove him to the hospital the other day because his wife was going, or his pregnant wife is with their sick kid. I drove him to the hospital. Like we're friends. Like
Yeah, that's
we're
crazy.
friends. It's not just like random internet friends. Now we're like actually friends. I was like, that happened because of a Two Dads in Tech episode. So I don't want to discount. Like we have done things that have caused a difference, but let's keep chewing on that because that's like a maybe like life-changing type of thing that we can do. Like, I don't know that I would say Two Dads in Tech is life-changing for anyone. I think it's a cool podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you listen to this and this is life-changing, please let us know. Like that actually would legitimately help me to hear. But I suspect it's not. I suspect it's just a really good podcast that people like.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
The other idea that
I
there's
love
something there.
There is. I love the idea of just listen. That is, yeah. Let's chat about it after this. And this, yeah, for anyone listening, is completely unscripted. We don't know what we're going to talk about most of the times in these podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a bigger purpose. Like we have such an audience. You've generated millions of impressions. I just looked at my 90-day stats and it's like 5 point something million. I feel like,
Yeah.
what am I really doing? You know, like what is that really accomplishing? I don't know.
Let's stop here. If you're listening to this, if you're not on YouTube, go over to YouTube, drop a comment on the video with your thoughts on Two Dads in Tech brand, on the concept of Just Listen as a podcast idea. We're not rebranding right now. Like these are just ideas, but like we want to hear. And something we don't do enough is get feedback. We ask for feedback for what it's worth. We ask for feedback all the time. You don't give us feedback. So please do. Like this is the time.
Yeah.
Right now. We need your feedback. And I think the world could be a better place with that type of space to have those types of conversations.
I think so too. And it might be worth, because we don't get a ton of feedback from the actual shows, which we have a lot of like weekly listeners that are the same listeners.
We do.
I look
We
at it
do.
every week, but we could also make a post that will obviously shine a little bit more light on the thought there. But I don't know, man.
Let's start
Let's stop it there.
let's start with the comments. I want people to comment. But
Yep.
yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Troy. Everyone go talk on YouTube. Get up in the comments. We'll respond. We're actually reading those comments.
We are.
And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.